Hi, I'm Doerr, the Aloha shirt psychic with my Aloha shirt. And I've got Kevin Chandler in the house. Hi,
Hey
Kevin.
Mel, hey everyone.
Uh,
Always great to be here.
yeah, yeah. Always nice to have you. Always Thursdays with Kevin and Mel.
Yeah,
So Kevin, if they want to get a hold of you, they should text you
yeah.
at 440-376-4088.
hmm
Um, or go to your YouTube channel, Kevin's Loving Vibrations, or email you at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com.
Yes, you got it, Mel.
Please see below, hit the thumbs up,
Yeah.
subscribe, go to Kevin's channel, hit the thumbs up, subscribe.
I just hit 6,000 subscribers, so probably in the next week or two we'll be doing a giveaway for a free reading or free Reiki session.
I'm almost at 18,000. I'll give away 3 free sessions. And also, if you become a member of my channel, you go to my channel page, hit join. So what I'm going to do is give members, you have to be a member for 3 months, but I'm going to give them a 10% discount on readings. Plus, when we do StreamYard Live, um, I'll let them be for members only, and they can ask questions in the chat.
Yeah, fun.
And then there's other perks as well. But those are a few to start. So uh, please subscribe. But it's one thing to subscribe, it's another thing to join. I think to join is like $9.99 a month or something, but to subscribe is free. Uh,
hmm
for my subscribers, every time I reach 1,000 new subscribers, I give away 3 free half-hour sessions. So there you go.
Yes, please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up.
And my members are also included in the names for the free readings.
Mm,
So there you have it.
very cool.
All righty. So a lot going on, I suppose.
Yeah.
I've got some questions, but I jotted some notes down here.
Okay.
I heard this house, what a circus, right?
Yeah.
That they're talking about, grab this one, abolishing the IRS
Mm.
and instituting some sort of federal usage tax, whatever that means.
Yeah, like a 30% like federal sales tax or something like that.
Well, when I read that, I'm thinking, okay, that's Trump talking to McCarthy because Trump wants to abolish the IRS because he was because of his tax returns. And
Yeah.
I think he thinks if he abolishes the IRS, he won't be in any more trouble. Wrong.
I think it's pretty telling though, like who are you hurting by doing that? You're hurting the poor and middle class while the millionaires and billionaires continue to just skate by. I think it really shows their priorities of who they're looking to help. And I don't think we have to worry about that though, because Kevin McCarthy said that he's opposed to that.
I don't think it'll ever happen, but
I don't either.
and it would never pass the Senate.
Right. It
You know,
wouldn't
the
even be
other
held
thing
up for a
you're
vote.
asking about the debt ceiling. Now,
Mm,
here's the thing about the debt ceiling. People think that the debt ceiling is about the House voting on spending more money. Wrong. It's about voting to pay the bills we've already made.
right.
It's not about spending any more. It's
Yeah.
about paying off our bills.
Mm,
It's like raising the credit limit on your credit card, but you still have to pay the balance.
right. Yeah.
So that's
And
how.
it's just a shame too that I feel like well, I guess you have some people that don't educate themselves on both sides, but I think it's one side that really doesn't look into stuff and really fact check and look into, what these things actually do.
They don't have to. They make it up as they go along,
Right.
or at least some people do.
Yeah.
In certain areas of government,
Mm.
right? Um, I see McCarthy gone anyway. So,
Yeah. I don't think he'll be in there very long. I said that from the beginning. We
and
both said
that's
that.
also what Michael Moore says. He says, but he felt that before 2024, that the Democrats could very easily take back over the House. So, and I'm thinking that as well.
Yeah, I've said that on your show a
But
couple
you
weeks
did.
ago. Yeah.
You certainly did. I'm looking up the questions for tonight.
Okay. No problem.
Got a
I
bunch.
haven't been watching the news the most the last couple of days, so hopefully well versed in what's going on.
Well, people are nervous about the Russian warships off the coast of Hawaii, uh,
Mm,
with missiles, with supersonic missiles or nuclear
mm,
warheads. I think it's just a show of force. That's what my guides tell me. Like we're gonna look what we can do if you don't do what we want, or something like that. I don't see them actually attacking us. But
right.
I think Putin's trying to step it up because he ain't liking it because Ukraine got those tanks.
Yeah, he's really mad about that.
Um,
And I kind of agree with you, Mel. I don't feel like it's really much of a real actual threat. It just feels like it's, trying to scare us or think
well,
that
I
they're going
think
to do
these
something.
Democrats in the House are going to try to defund the Ukrainian war because Putin and Trump, their cronies are
Hmm.
talking back and forth. So who controls the House right now? Is it Kevin McCarthy? Absolutely not. It's Donald Trump.
Right. Well, and you have to think though too, a lot of the Republicans in the House and in the Senate, there are dark money channels leading from Russia. So we know who they're actually really supporting.
Of course, they came.
Hmm.
Some of them came forward and said they support Putin,
Hmm.
but it's not going to work. Trump is going to blow up in his face, and Putin will be defeated. And I see Putin gone.
Yeah. I just read on it last week. A lot of people have been asking if Putin's actually passed away yet, which I wasn't feeling him actually passed away, but when I was kind of tapping in, I saw him bedridden. So I just feel like he's very weak. I don't think that's too far off in the future, but I see him being gone very soon.
Hey, me too.
Hmm.
All right, Andrea Geyer, I think is it Geyer or Geyer? Geyer. Hi guys, are any senators going to be held in account for January the 6th? Nobody ever seems to mention them, just the House, just the representatives.
I think the House was more, a lot of the House Republicans were more involved with it. Not to say that there aren't senators. I do feel a couple that were definitely involved. I've always had a bad feeling about Josh Hawley. Um, I think that Ted Cruz was involved somewhat, but I think that uh, he's like a snake, is how my guides are showing me. So I feel like he's very careful of not getting caught. Although I see him out of office at some point as well, just
You mean the
maybe not
bully
legal
goat?
trouble. The Billy Goat, yeah. I don't know. I'm feeling like the number three is what's coming to me. So I think like there might be three senators.
I see Ted Cruz out of office. I always.
Hmm.
Josh Hawley, at some point, I see him under investigation, and it's not going to look good with this.
I just got a hit. I think the other one that's in trouble is Ron Johnson from Wisconsin.
Okay, good. Um, I clearly got Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz, but when you said Ron
Hmm.
Johnson, my psychic light bulb went.
Yeah.
So, um, I see them, the DOJ. It's funny that the House is now trying to get the DOJ. They're trying to subpoena the secret records to see what the
Oh,
DOJ
right.
does, so they can take it right back to Trump. It can go to Putin. All those
Not
people.
going to happen. They're still in an investigation. They're not giving any of that information out right now.
The DOJ doesn't have to,
Hmm.
and they're not going to.
I agree.
And well, the only reason that certain people in the House want that is because they want to see if they're in hot water.
Yeah. They can tell everybody their plans and what actually they have.
After this, McCarthy's going to be dog meat. The same.
Mm.
Oh, this is an insult. I want me to feed my dog that. Uh, I think the same thing that happened to Joseph McCarthy I keep saying is going to happen to Kevin McCarthy. That's what my
Mhm.
guys. So we shall see.
We'll see. I don't think he'll be in there long either, Mel.
I don't either. Okay, Ron Brock. Hi, Kevin and Mel. Do you see Fannie Willis, the Georgia DA, indicting Trump and others within a month?
I mean, timing's always a little hard, but I do feel very soon. I actually think it's going to be. I was thinking that the DOJ might indict first, but now I'm kind of feeling like maybe it'll be Georgia that goes first. But I feel something coming. I think a month is a good time frame, but give or take a couple weeks.
Well, I see the number two.
Mm,
So it'll be 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. I think within a couple months, indictments
yeah.
will be put down. But I still like the work Jack Smith is doing, that special
Hmm.
prosecutor, a special investigator. He is looking under every pebble. He's not going to leave anything unturned. But I do see also indictments in Georgia. The answer
Hmm.
is yes, from a grand
Yeah.
jury. And I think, and obviously Trump's going to be one of them, as well as Giuliani and
Hmm.
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm feeling like there's some big stuff happening very, very soon. And the month of March feels very significant for Trump, but I'm also feeling the month of March coming up for Putin as well. So I
um,
guess we'll see.
and also Ron Brock wants to know, do we have any updates on the war in Ukraine? Thank both of you for all you do for us.
Mm.
Well, with these tanks, you know what? Oh, my psychic light bulb just went on
What are you
again.
getting?
Well, remember back when the Ukraine wanted airplanes and we said no, blah blah blah. But I think all these months that they have been training Ukrainian
Mm.
men and women to fly these fighter planes.
Yeah.
And so I see Ukraine getting airplanes as well through the same kind of channels, like going through Germany. And I
Yeah.
also think that for months they've been training these people from Ukraine to drive these tanks. It's just like they're going to give them a bunch of tanks and put people in there who doesn't know.
Right. Hmm.
They've been strategically planning this.
I think both of us felt airplanes in the fall time coming to Ukraine. I remember us both reading on that and that really resonating with me.
We did.
Um, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But
Um,
the light bulb just went on. It was like, bing.
mhm.
All right. Um, you know, um, Putin will not win.
Yeah,
It might look as if he'll have some victories, but he will not win. Every time he blows up a building with civilians in it, anything like that, it just makes the Ukrainians that much more angry and that much more determined to keep fighting.
right.
So,
Yeah, I agree. And you also predicted too that you felt like Russia was going to really have a hard time in the winter months. So I feel
yeah.
like that. I don't know if they've had a really bad winter or not as of yet, but I still feel a lot of cold and snow coming in for the winter for us and for them.
Well, it's gonna be a brutal winter, and that's
Hmm.
gonna help defeat Putin.
Yep.
He doesn't have enough supplies. I still think there's some shenanigans going on in South Africa. And
Mm.
I think somebody asked a question the other day, but I think, some Putin's right-hand person or something was in South Africa. And
Okay.
somebody asked if they were trying to talk the South Africans into putting nuclear power plant there so they could probably enrich uranium or something.
Mm.
I got a feeling to yes to that.
Yeah, that's
I still
resonating. It's
feel
true
like
to
South
me. You said
Africa
it.
is sending Putin stuff, supplies, and
Yeah. There's a connection there.
that's going to come out because I see the United States sanctioning South Africa.
Okay. Well, you heard it here.
So at some point. All
Yeah.
right. Kelly Kerr, I want to know if we can use our collective energy to surround a political person with mirrors that cause these political people cause ongoing damage, and we ask questions about their actions, about future stuff. But can't we affect breakthrough by intending together to return the energy back to the perpetrators? That's a
Hmm,
very good question.
I was going to say that's an interesting question. I've never thought
Answer
of
to that is yes, but we still need to do, yes, we can, but we also need to take action,
it. Mm.
have our voices heard, and make people accountable as well.
You know what? I don't know. And I'm not disagreeing with like that statement at all. But I also feel like the last few years has really been a great awakening for us as a collective. Really, a lot of this hatred and negativity that's been suppressed for so long, it kind of needs to be exposed a little bit just to bring that awareness for us and so that we can make that shift into the planet that we want to live in. So as ugly as a lot of these people are, I think that awareness is still very important to wake some people up.
Well, what these ultra right wing Christian, so-called Christian nationalists are doing is awakening the xenophobia in some
Yeah,
people and fear mongering and blaming others. And they want the chaos, they want the anarchy, because then they can say that they can control.
right,
When you get people in anarchy, that's how dictators take office, because
mhm,
I can fix it. And
right.
and then what they do is once they're in office, they turn against the people that supported them and start arresting everybody.
Mm.
So
I'll
uh,
just say though, I think that there's a lot more us than there is of them. And so like vibrationally, it's getting stronger with a lot of the stuff that they're bringing to the surface.
I agree. Oh, this is a good one. Sage burner. Oh, I like that. Sage burner. That's cool. How does Satan explain Martin Luther King Day to his children? He doesn't.
No, yeah.
Hey,
It's
kids, you got to
awful
get
what
off
he's
school.
doing.
Huh?
So it's awful what he's doing to the school system in Florida. I think it's just downright racist. That's
It is racist.
it's
Or if
racist,
or if a teacher uses certain books that he has banned, that they can
Mhm.
be charged with a felony. That means they're going to lose teachers down there. But here's what my guides told me.
They're already losing teachers, by the way.
They're going to try to charge somebody with a felony. And it's going to go all the way up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court is going to say, no, it's not felonious. You cannot put somebody in jail for exercising their freedom of speech, which a book is really.
Right.
And if that's the case, then why don't they go after the ultra right people in organizations like the Proud Boys and stuff like that, or people like Trump who are disseminating a lot of this BS?
Right.
It's very
It's
one-sided.
interesting you said court though, Mel, like it being brought up to the Supreme Court, because as we were talking about it before you brought up the court, that I got a bit of a hit about it going up to the Supreme Court. So I agree with you on that.
Okay. Um, Here, the other part of Sage Burner's question is, or how does he explain any other questions they have regarding Black American history in this
Mm.
country? They say it's not like they can go read a book. That's true.
Right?
Well,
It's just awful.
well, he can't block teaching African American studies because that's going to go to the courts as well,
Hmm.
and it's not going to fly.
I agree. I think it's really disgusting what DeSantis and what Abbott are doing. I'm sure that there's other governors doing a lot of really ugly stuff as well, but it's just downright racist. It's wrong.
It is
I mean,
racist, and Satan is obviously a racist for what he's
yeah,
doing, and he's not going to prevail in that. For a while, it might seem as if he does, but he won't. And
yeah,
don't even start on Abbott. We'll be here all night.
right,
You know, I don't get it with Abbott. He's a Trump supporter. And unfortunately, Governor Abbott does have a handicap. He's in a wheelchair,
mm,
but yet he supports somebody, Donald Trump, who made fun of handicapped people.
right.
I don't get that.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
just a
it's
bunch
so
of hypocrites.
crazy. I think it's so crazy. You can't, there's an old saying, you can't logically explain crazy. And so that's what we're trying to do.
It's all about greed and power for them, and they found a base and people to rile up and really support them, and they're going to be ugly with it. It's not going to win in the long term. Ron DeSantis can run for president in 2024. He's not going to win. He's not going to get the nomination for the Republican Party. You're
Um,
turning off a lot of people by promoting that.
he's not going to be Secretary of Education, that's for sure.
Right?
All right, Lindy. Um, Hello, you two. Hi, Lynn. Love when you collaborate. Thank you.
Thank you.
My question is, when are the convictions going to start, and what is the order of the people convicted? Trump first, or Marjorie Taylor Greene, or Getz? So she's asking, when do they start? Well, we've
Yeah,
already we see the number two.
right. I
They
don't think the
forgot Lindsey
January.
Graham. He's going to
What
be.
was that?
They forgot Lindsey Graham. He's going to be indicted.
Right. I think the January 6th stuff where a lot of the Congress people are going to get in trouble, it's going to happen a little bit later, maybe like summer. I feel like the documents case and Georgia, those indictments are coming um, pretty soon. And I feel like it's a couple people around Trump. I was getting the number three, so I think that that makes sense if you count Giuliani and um, Graham, but also if you count the documents case, um, I think some of the lawyers around him are going to be getting in some trouble too.
Okay. Um, Christine Chauvinek asked, and I'm gonna rephrase this because
Mhm.
she named certain social media that
Okay. Hmm.
I
You
don't
don't
want
want
to
to promote.
correct for
Mhm.
entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
It's hello guys, good energy you both have. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
Um, how will certain social media outlets work out for Trump? She says.
Mm. Oh yeah, because I heard that was it Meta and I don't know if it was Twitter is removing the Trump ban that they had in place.
They're doing what?
They're removing the Trump ban that they had in place.
They are.
Hmm.
But I don't see the powers that be in charge of certain of those organizations for that long a period of time.
Yeah.
Somebody else comes in and takes them over. If there's anything left of a few of them, um, I think they're going to say you cannot. Your freedom of speech does not allow you to lie, openly lie, and so ultimately it's going to bite you know who
Hmm.
in the rear end.
And I really see a lot of changes that have to happen for some of these social media um, places where they, you know, things have to be vetted. Like we can't be promoting fake news and just lies and smears on people or you know the slander. Like a lot of that stuff has to be vetted. So I do see changes happening with that. Um, I don't know. I feel like Trump may join some of these social medias again. I feel like he's going to be off of them just as quickly as he got on them. It's kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah, right. Um,
I
and
mean, you see all the
well, here's
vile
what's
that he
happening.
spews on his social media. You see all the vile he spews on his social media. I don't see that working out for on Facebook or Meta or whatever it's called now.
Well, my guides had shown me that there were certain news outlets
Hmm.
who would
Yeah.
be sued because of misreporting and the lies that were being told. And look what's going on now
Yeah.
with a certain news organization who's being sued by the voting machines because the news organization promoted the big lie that the machines were rigged. And my feeling is that the voting machine who's filing the lawsuit will win.
Oh yeah. They're gonna get a lot of money from that news network. A lot.
Absolutely. So I think people filing lawsuits when things are misreported and when
Hmm.
things are slanderous and things like that against some of these media outlets, that will curb a lot of this.
Hmm. I agree.
Hit them in the pocketbook. That always seems to work.
Right.
Okay. Arlene Hardebeck. Hello, Mel and Kevin. Hi, Arlene.
Right.
What do you guys see as outstanding Dems coming forward in the near future that make a big difference on bringing back good and honorable governing? Oh, I like that.
What was the question again?
What do your guys see as outstanding Democrats coming forward in the near future that make a big difference on bringing back good and honorable governing?
Mm.
Well, Hakeem Jeffries is one in the House.
I
Um,
really see a huge change in the Democratic Party to much younger and progressive party. Like AOC really stands out to me. Katie Porter. Trying to think of some other ones.
Wes
Those are a
Moore, I
couple of
see Wes
key.
Moore coming forward.
Oh, Wes Moore, yeah,
Uh,
he's great.
um,
And I agree with you, Mo. I saw him speak, and I definitely feel a lot of presidential vibes with Wes Moore.
Adam Schiff is thinking about running for Senate in California. Um, so I guess the bigger question would be, Arlene, what do our guides tell us about outstanding Republicans that'll be coming forward and stand up to the Matt
Mhm.
Gaetzes, the Kevin McCarthy's, the Marjorie Taylor Greens. You know, Liz Cheney did. I don't like her politics. I don't have to agree with her politics, but she did stand up for democracy. And I see other Republicans following suit.
They're gonna have to. It's gonna take them a couple election cycles to really rebuild and rebrand
Well, they
because,
should have gotten the message this time.
right? I'm just saying we're gonna see the circus going on in the House, and it's going to be really ugly. I think it's going to wake a lot of people up, a lot of Republicans too. And then when the indictments start coming later on in the year, there's all these things coming out about dark money channels. There's a lot coming out this year. I feel that it's going to take them quite a while to repair that and, you know, to get the caca out of out of the Republican Party.
Can you say caca on?
I don't know.
Yes, you can.
I could have said something else.
If we go to YouTube, Jill, we'll figure it out, right? I
It'll
don't
be
think.
okay. I think it'll
Okay.
be all right.
Moxie Cha Cha. I love that name. It's so
Yeah.
cool. Hi, Moxie. Hey, guys. Nikki Haley and possibly Liz Cheney will run in 2024. I believe Biden will win re-election, but which one of these two Republicans will the new GOP support? You know, we just talked about Liz Cheney. As I said, I don't agree with her politics. I wouldn't vote for her, but she's clearly not MAGA, ultra right wing Christian nationalism.
Right.
You know,
I still wouldn't want her as president though, but I don't feel like Liz Cheney would get the support needed with the Republican Party. I do feel I do feel energy around Nikki Haley, but I feel like I'm not seeing who's going to get the nomination just yet for the Republican Party in 2024, but I feel like a male will be the winner and I feel a female VP pick. So she very well might be a VP pick.
well, I don't think either one of them will get the nomination of the GOP because they're right now two, even though behind closed doors and in private, they're saying what's going on with the MAGA wing of the Republican Party is totally wrong, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's tribalism. They still have to support the party. My feeling is Cheney, if she doesn't, you know, run as an old order GOP, and that's pretty much what she is, then I'm thinking she might run as an independent.
Yeah, that could be.
And that if that's the case, then there are some moderate Republicans that would vote for her and split the vote. So, you know, I think she's thinking about it, but we haven't heard the end of Liz Cheney. Just because she didn't win re-election in Montana doesn't mean that she gave up the ship. She's
Right.
a lot, my guides tell me, a lot behind closed doors to overturn some of those MAGA people.
I actually see Liz Cheney. I don't think she'd be successful if she did run as an independent, maybe splitting the vote, like you said. But I see her as a big leader in the Republican Party as they start to rebuild after they get away from the extremism. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nikki Haley might be the VP pick for the Republicans.
I don't see her as VP though.
I don't see her as VP either, but for that nomination, I see Biden or whoever is running in 2024 on the Democratic side as the winner. I think it'll be Biden in 2024.
Well, I can still see Westmore as president someday.
Mm-hmm.
Gail Langston said your new graphics are really cool. My little thumbnails.
Yeah, Gail's sweet.
How to do it before we went on, but thanks to Aiden for that.
Yeah.
Aiden, Kevin, let's you and I do a collab with him at some point. How's that?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Hi, Aiden, if you're watching. All right. Gail Langston also wants to know what is happening with the NRA and gun control. All this gun violence is horrific. You're right. It is horrific. It's unspeakable. It's just evil and it needs to stop. She said the US is better than this, or are we? Thank you. Yes, we are better than this. And I think it's horrendous when we have to go, we can't go to a movie, we can't go to the grocery store, we can't go to synagogue, we can't go to church, we can't go
to send your schools or your kids to school.
Can't send your kids to school without worrying about getting killed with an assault rifle. I believe that people should be able to carry guns, but not assault rifles.
I agree.
when they say, well, responsible gun owners. Oh, really? Then why don't you let responsible gun owners own hand grenades and tanks and
Right.
weapons? You don't need them. You don't need them to hunt.
Or even protection for your house.
That's
You
correct.
know, that's my feeling with it. And I agree with you 100%.
I
Um,
I see the NRA at some point losing a lot of its power over this country. Right now, they think they've got the power because the MAGA Republicans think they're in control of the House, but they're really not.
mhm.
But I see the NRA with a lot of lawsuits, and I see at some point that organization splitting up.
Yeah, I agree. I remember they got hit pretty heavy in New York, and I think that really did a big number on them.
Well,
That's
they're going to
because
get hit
they're not
hard.
still around, but I agree. I see it almost like it's not existing anymore, not too far out in the future. Unfortunately, with the gun violence, though, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of progress with that until we can get some, um, gun legislation passed, which is going to take a year or two.
Okay, Michael Arzola says, I just saw a list of Dem senators leaving before 2024. Do you see us Dems still holding the Senate and winning back the House? I do, actually.
Yeah.
Just because there's a bunch of them leaving, look what happened in this election cycle.
Mhm.
The Republicans, it's going to be a red wave.
Right.
I think wasn't even a pink trickle, right?
No.
Um, I think with the shenanigans they're going to be pulling in the House and all of that stuff, people are going to be like, we're not voting for MAGA Republicans. We're not.
It's
And
going to turn a lot of voters off.
I see the Dems putting up some real, what's the word I'm looking for?
Mm.
Energetic, almost charismatic people to run for the Senate who are bright, almost like a Wes Moore or
Mm.
Jeffries is in the House, but that type of personality.
Yeah, that really fiery Democrat with like the backbone and I feel that coming in with the younger progressive new leadership coming in as we were kind of talking about before.
I see
I agree with that.
people coming in like Barack Obama who can keep a crowd's
Mhm.
attention. And you're
Yeah,
right, fiery is a good word. Not so much antagonistic, but fiery.
you need a little bit of fire to play with the Republicans. They play dirty, and
Fire. You need like
sometimes they need a little bit of it. They need to be hit harder for all of their corruption.
you need
So,
explosives. Switch.
hmm
Okay.
um, I was gonna say something and I forgot what the question was. Can you repeat the question just real quick and see if it comes back to me? I'm sorry, Mo.
Michael Arzola said, just saw a list of Dim senators leaving before 2024. Do you
Oh,
see them still holding the Senate and winning back the House?
yeah. It is kind of a tough Senate map for Democrats this cycle. There's a lot of Democratic seats in red states like Ohio and Montana. But I do think that I see a lot of stuff getting done in 2024. So we would need the Senate for that to happen. And I agree, like I said before, I think a lot of Republicans are going to be turned off by a lot of things that happen this year and next year.
Well, look at what happened with governorships and things like that in red states. A lot of Democrats won because people
Hmm.
fired. Which
Right.
which brings up another issue. Texas, Serena Everett says abortion pill access in Texas judge with that lawsuit coming up. No one covered it.
Yeah, and I haven't heard of it.
Well, I think they're trying to outlaw the pill to
Hmm.
kind of causes an abortion, and they're trying
I
to
see
say
that being fought. There's a lot of I think that might actually go up to the Supreme Court. And we know that they're pretty crazy, but I don't know if all of them are that crazy to ban like contraception or um like the
well,
day after
I
pill.
see new justices coming on,
Yeah.
and I see Roe v. Wade being upheld again,
Hmm.
and a lot of the things that this court has threw by the wayside, those things will be upheld. Like
Hmm.
Roe v. Wade, the gerrymandering, people who make large contributions that these mega companies can no longer buy the elections, things like
Right.
okay, sweetie darling Lulu. Hey, sweetie darling Lulu. Is Carrie Lake planning something on January 29th? Nefarious or just announcement?
It doesn't feel anything serious to me that I'm picking up.
I'm not picking up anything either.
It's probably more BS.
Patricia Burke says, great teamwork. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you.
What strategies or tactics are the dictators and dictator wannabes using to fix or manipulate our elections? Look what they've done.
Right. Well, it's all about that propaganda too, and they've had a perfect outlet to spread a lot of those false narratives through social media and some news networks, and give a lot of dark money, underhanded money under the table. So there's a lot of things that they're doing to destabilize our democracy.
Well, when you said dark money, it's going to be people are going to come forward and show that
Mhm.
there's dark money that was funneled to some of the Supreme Court justices,
Yeah,
them to do things that some of these organizations wanted, dark money funneling the misinformation. A lot of that's going to come out.
I think a lot of it's going to come out from that person from the FBI that just got arrested.
Oh, that guy's going to sing like a canary.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff's coming out from that. I feel like we're going to hear a lot of this stuff, but it feels like maybe towards the end of the year, fall of this year.
Um, she says, will all of those corrupt politicians ever be banned from holding political offices? I think if they're convicted of crimes while they're in office, that would probably not allow them to hold office again.
Mhm.
So I see a lot of them not being allowed to hold office again.
There's a lot of new rules and regulations, I think, coming in the coming year or two that is really going to make it hard for a lot of these corrupt people, not showing their financial returns and just a lot of the shady stuff that they're doing. There's going to be a lot of rules and regulations to stop that. You can't sit over a case if you're biased towards it or you're influenced by it. That's the case that you need to recuse yourself from. And I see a lot of rules like that coming in.
I'm good. I'm glad you see that.
Mhm.
Okay, Patricia Burke, she says, this is cool. Thanks for the pre-recorded shows.
Thank
Tonight's
you.
pre-recorded. She
Mhm.
said live chats can be very distracting. People talking about the weather, food they're eating, personal lives distracts from the purposeful messages. Thank you. Live is hard to do because you're watching everything and have moderators. For me, pre-recorded, as long as you're interviewing somebody.
Yeah, it's very hard for me to do a pre-recorded solo. I struggle with that, so I would much rather just go live and then like that perfectionist in me, or you know, I'm a little bit of an introvert, so sometimes I'm like, well, what do I say? Or I don't like how that sounded, and I'll end up restarting it like multiple times. I'm just gonna go live. You can't start over once you go live.
I'm going to start doing some single pre-recorded again, but what I would do is I would watch the current events and then
Mhm.
figure out my predictions on them.
Right,
Then I would write, and so I
that's
didn't,
what it is.
but it would give me like an outline. And then
Mhm.
if I got stuck, I would put the recording on pause and gather myself.
Right. Well, and that's what it is though too. But I also feel like if I'm having to read down all these topics and predictions and all that, I don't know. I just feel like it feels more authentic to me, I guess, authentic to myself to do a live video. But I very much enjoy if you have a collab where you can have a conversation back and forth. It makes it a little bit easier for me.
That's kind of why I like pre-recorded collaborations. I
Mhm.
mean, live is okay, don't get me wrong. I'll do both, but I like this because we can chat about, or we can chat, but we can also elaborate on a question.
Right, right. It's
And
a little
see,
bit more. It's not like you got a question to do, you got a question to do, you got a question. It's a little bit more relaxed in that sense. And I can see though too how a live may be a little overstimulating or a little bit too much for some people.
especially when you're trying to host.
Right, it's hard.
Well, I'm going to start doing live for my members only as well.
Mhm.
So, and then members only see it when it's live, and then when it's recorded, then my subscribers can see it, but they won't be able to comment. All right. Oh, American Mojo. Oh, I like that. American
Yeah.
Mojo. Hello, guys. Who do you see as the next Speaker of the House? I haven't really thought about it, but I'd like for it to be Jeffries.
Yeah, and I do feel it will be Jeffries at some point. Um, I haven't gotten a clear hit on who it is, but I feel like it's going to be a male, and I feel like they're going to be a little bit more middle of the road, or they can get some bipartisanship done. Is what I'm feeling. Maybe it will be Jeffries. I see Democrats. I'm feeling they have a very good shot of taking control before 2024.
I think you're right. Okay, Roxanne M, this is good. Hi, Mel and Kevin. Question. Will the case of the newly arrested FBI agent who led the Russia-Trump collusion investigation
Oh, I didn't know he led the collusion investigation.
affect the Trump investigation with Russia?
Hmm.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, but not like obstructing it. I see them getting a lot of information
Well, what was he
for it.
arrested for? What was he arrested for? Working with the oligarchs or something? I forgot why he was.
Yeah, I think that there was an oligarch. I'm sure that there was a bunch of stuff there.
They've got a lot of stuff on this guy,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of stuff that's going to come out.
I even feel like after Putin goes and there's a new leader in Russia, I feel like them dropping a lot of the information to us as well. So
And
maybe
I
some of
think
those
they're going to be
channels.
able to trace this indirectly back up to Cheeto.
Oh, absolutely.
I just wonder if the director of the FBI, I don't think that he would have been involved. I don't think, whatever, but
Mm,
it's going to implicate a lot of people.
yeah. I don't think that there's a connection with Chris Ray, but
No, there
I
wasn't.
don't really care for him either.
But there's another part to this that Roxanne has.
Hmm.
Was he, Charles McGonigal, the reason why Hillary's investigation on her emails was made public 2 weeks before the 2016 election? I say yes.
Mm. Like that last bit, because we already knew about it. They just said that they found more emails and it ended up being nothing. They were all
Somebody
duplicates.
planted that, I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
I agree.
And that's what helped to sway the election.
Hmm.
Okay, Sharon Hall. Um, oh, I like this. Now, everybody out there is going to disagree with me when I answer this. I know they're going to disagree with me, and I'm going to get like tons of negative comments. You know, if you have a positive suggestion, perfect.
Hmm.
If it's negative or comes across as rude, I will delete it.
There's been a lot of issues. I would say, overwhelmingly our community is so supportive, but even myself, I've had a few issues with nasty comments lately and had to block a few people. So
I will do that. But
yeah.
here again, it says Sharon Hall wants to know, hello, gentlemen. What happens to someone's soul that is so evil, like Putin, when they cross over, or Hitler? My feeling is they cease to exist.
Mm.
They just, because hell is actually a spirit, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, and if they just cease to exist, big then
Some of
people
them
say,
are earthbound energy is what I'm feeling, like very low and dense.
I think they're too evil to be earthbound.
Mm.
I think they just cease to exist.
Yeah.
You know, an earthbound spirit is a spirit that doesn't want to leave the earth plane for certain reasons, but also there's some karma that they have to try to rectify before they can cross into the light.
Right.
But these evil people, they don't have a soul, they don't have a moral compass. And I think they just cease to exist.
Mm.
You know, people ask, like, is Putin the incarnation of Hitler? No,
Right.
but there's always going to be people who misuse their power, who are evil.
Yeah.
And these people, when they cross over, they won't cross over. They just cease to exist.
Yeah.
It's like no afterlife, no nothing.
Well, I guess you get your karma one way or another, right?
How
You don't
karma
want to
is
face
that that you can't
you
go
don't
to.
want to face that life review afterwards, and because you don't have
Oh,
that
I think they do face the life review, and then it's like poof, you cease to exist.
guy.
I mean, the fear of that alone is like, whoa. At least that's my opinion. Now, everybody's entitled to their own.
Yeah.
So please don't give me any uh, nasty comments about it. All right. Esther Singh. Hi, Esther. Will
Hi, Esther.
McCarthy's move? Oh, this is good. Will McCarthy's move preventing Swalwell, Schiff, and Omar on committees backfire on him?
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, I don't know. I think a lot of things are going to backfire for him because he gave up all of his power and he's not going to be in there for very long. I don't know if there's any like legal repercussions if that's what they're asking over that, but I
Mhm.
mean, obviously it's a bit of an outrage, and it's pretty hypocritical that you're concerned about these people having intelligence clearances, and yet you're going to put MTG and Gates and Jim Jordan in a lot of these positions. Um, I don't know. It's pretty baffling to me.
Well, my light bulb just went on again.
Hmm.
Uh, it's very frightening that you're going to have Marjorie Taylor Greene and
Yeah.
like these people you mentioned on a House Intelligence Committee.
Mhm.
Hello. And you know what? Just like when Nunes was on that committee, he ran right over to the White House
Yeah.
and they said, "What were you doing there?" "Oh, I wasn't doing anything." "Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, ding, 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 my BS bill. Same
Right.
thing's going to happen. Some of these people are going to be leaking stuff to Trump. It'll get to Putin, and they'll be like, "Where's that coming from?" And then there's going to be an FBI investigation. The FBI is going to show where those leaks occurred
Mhm.
because it's leaking top secret stuff.
Yeah.
It is going to bite McCarthy big time.
Yeah.
And she also says something else, Esther, that I like. She says, "I feel it will get Schiff elected in Feinstein's seat." And you know what, Esther? I totally agree with you on that. My gates say yes. What do you think, Kevin?
Um, I don't know about Shift. I think he definitely has a chance, but when I was reading on, somebody asked me if Katie Porter was going to win. I felt really good about Katie Porter. Maybe she doesn't win this time. I see her as a senator in the future if she doesn't win this time, though. And I think she will be a wonderful senator. But Schiff would be an awesome senator as well. So,
He would be. Okay, this
mm,
is KBG instead of KGB.
mm,
KBG says, "Hey, you two. Hey, KBG. That's how you
hi,
always enjoy your collabs. Thank you.
thank you.
What will happen to Sergei Prigozhin, the thug who runs the Wagner paramilitary command, Putin's personal army?" He'll be gone.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
He's the guy that runs Putin's personal army.
Okay, is that for like him, his own self? He has his own army that follows him.
No, I don't know. He's in charge of something for Putin.
Okay, yeah,
Indicted or health. A lot of these people are going to be held for war crimes.
yeah, yeah. That's actually ringing really true when you said war crimes. Mel.
Antonia Alvarez asks, this is really good.
Hmm.
Will Mexico and Rio Grande Valley, Texas, start good relations or working together?
I
Yes,
think it's going to take a
yes,
while,
after
though.
Abbott.
Yeah,
Actually, some of those
I
are united against Abbott, to be honest with
mm, yeah, I feel yes. I think it's going to take some time, though. I don't think it's going to happen in the next year or two.
you. Okay. I don't either, but okay, we got time for just two more.
Sounds
Jules
good.
Jules 1280 asked, "Hi Mel and Kevin. Mel, the new background is wonderful. Actually, that background was the sunset. I'm sorry, it was a sunrise, um, Christmas Eve morning over the ocean on the island of Kauai. And I
Oh,
got my
nice.
saw it and I took it. And I'm like, wow. And so it was Christmas Eve morning of 2022. So it's recent. Anyway, so thank you. I think it was
Mm.
really good. Um, so Jules says, "I read that there are new demands for the DALJ and Senate Judiciary to investigate Kavanaugh for new misconduct allegations. Is this the start of his removal from the Supreme Court?"
I don't think he'll be removed. I think he'll step down from all the backlash. I'm feeling like yes, but I feel like it might take a little bit of time before we really start hearing it or that investigation really starts to take off. For me, it feels like it's almost towards the end of the year is when there's a lot of um, he really starts to feel a lot of the
Oh, he's going to be under
um,
investigation.
bad press. Yeah.
I mean, I hope, Santos is another one that's going to be going.
Yeah, I agree. I think he actually might be the first congressperson out.
I think you're right.
Mhm.
Okay, you are right.
We'll see.
Teddy 73. "Hi, Kevin and Mel. Do you see Putin dying of unnatural causes
Mm.
made to
I
look natural?" That's a good question, actually.
I think he's got a terminal illness. I'm immediately drawn to his like solar plexus, sacral chakra. So I think he has some kind of bowel cancer is what I'm feeling.
Sunny Valeria says, hello, Mel and Kevin. My question is, Congress is insisting on obtaining Biden's visitor logs and subpoenaed Secret Service. Never ask for Trump's or Pence's.
Of course,
Will they get these? The DOJ is still investigating. They're not
he
going to get
doesn't
what
have
the
any.
DOJ is investigating.
Well, and he doesn't even have visitor logs. There's a difference between a private club where you're going to have people signing in and stuff in a residential home. So he doesn't have a visitor log. Do you keep a visitor log for everybody that comes over your house, Mel? Yeah, I don't either. So yeah, that's not going to go anywhere.
It's like, what?
Right.
They should check. They should check Trump's because they'd see how many people he did see behind closed doors. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go for one more.
Okay.
NH Mountain Dancer. Hey, hey, you handsome duo.
No.
They say the eyes are the first to go.
Oh, stop. Thank you.
Talk to Kevin, not me. That he's handsome. All right. Thank you. That was very nice. NH Mountain Dancer. I paid this person to say that, you know.
Oh, is that it?
Can America survive this chaotic house with the ever-greedy McCarthy? Also, will all Senate and House members not get cushy pensions and free health care at our expense? They shouldn't. I think once they're out of office, that should stop.
Mhm. But it is a bit of misinformation that they get paid a salary for the rest of their life. They have to be in there, I think, for like 5 or 6 years before they can get a pension when they retire, but they don't get health care for life or anything like that.
Why can't the rest of them get the same health care they get?
Right? That's very true.
Price.
Mm.
Right? Okay.
What was the first part of the question, Mel?
Can America survive this chaotic house with the
Oh,
ever-greedy
yeah.
McCarthy?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. We've been living through it the last few years, but as I said earlier, too, it's like a lot of this ugliness really has to be exposed to bring in that awareness to bring the change that we're seeking for our world and our earth.
Cat01, we've answered this, but we'll answer again. What do you guys see regarding the removal of books in Florida? If teachers use the books, they will be charged with a felony. Do you see this backfiring? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and like I said, too, I know that they have a huge problem getting teachers in Florida. There's a huge shortage, and I don't blame them. You're going to put all these ridiculous restrictions, and I wouldn't take the risk of being responsible. I'd go to a different state and teach.
Well, that's why Florida's going to lose a lot of good teachers, and the education is
Yeah.
going to go right down the toilet.
Yeah, it'll get better. I don't see that lasting there for too long.
Okay, I'll end it up with this one.
Okay.
Kathy Reagan says, "Hello, Mel and Kevin. Blessings to both of you. You are both great in your collaboration together, along with your beautiful spiritual guides. Thank you for sharing your gifts to the rest of us." That's so nice.
Well, thank you. That was very sweet.
It's comments like that makes it worth doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't get to the rest of them, but I only had 2 more to go. Here, let's go ahead and Corey Ray, hi Mel and Kevin. There are several talks about the Dems doing an executive order on a national rent control on price increases for homes and apartments in the future. Will it pass?
I feel yes, very strongly, but maybe it's with the timing of it too. And I often did feel like there would be some kind of measures being put in place to really help with, the rental prices being so out of control in a lot of parts of the country, really helping people that need it.
Well, New York City had rent control for a long time, and I think they're going to do the same thing here, but through laws to prevent price gouging, not only rents or houses, but groceries and everything else. They're going to say, you can set prices, but you can't price gouge, and they're going to make that illegal. That's what I.
And even I think programs to help give people money or for rent or like low income and stuff like that. I see that being more expanded.
Julia Marie wants to know how many more presidents have classified documents, if any. Well, there's not that many left alive.
Right. Well, and I did see something on the.
I'm sorry.
I did see something on the news too, where the archives were they were thinking about asking all former presidents and vice presidents to have their stuff searched for documents. To be honest with you, I'm actually getting really sick and tired of hearing about the documents on the news every day. It's
Well,
getting a bit old.
the reason they're flooding the airways with it is because they're trying to minimize what Trump did,
Absolutely.
and it's not going to work. It is
Yeah.
not. They're going to say, well, everybody else did it. So why is it so bad because Donald Trump did it? Well, everybody else might have robbed a bank, but Donald Trump robbed the bank. Or maybe everybody else didn't rob the bank. They walked in the bank, but Donald Trump
There's a,
robbed the bank.
there's a difference on complying and, being ethical with it and having your lawyers give it away, give the documents right away to the archives rather than saying that you gave everything and lied. And then even moving documents, I think they found on security cameras the day before the FBI came in to search. So, and Trump, for entertainment purposes only, was selling a lot of our intelligence. He was using it as leverage for a lot of, a lot of things. So there's a huge difference in the kind of documents that Trump had rather than maybe some of the smaller stuff. But it is getting a bit old. Like I said, hearing it on the news every day, I agree. It's about,
I don't think the
uh,
documents that they found with Pence are marked top secret. Okay.
yeah,
I mean, I can understand, you have a notebook, you stick it somewhere, it's in a box, you find it, whatever. God knows I found notes the other day when I was in college or stuff.
right, right.
I don't think that their intent was to cover up any sort of misdeed or misdoing or criminal behavior. Trump's was.
Mm,
And I think therein is the problem. But
yeah.
what I do see coming out of this, my guides tell me, are going to be ways. There's going to be uh, I don't know if it's legislation, but clearly guidelines about what is to happen with those documents once a president is out of office, and what constitutes what legally belongs to the president and what doesn't. There's going
Mm.
to be a whole slew of stuff that they're going to have to follow.
I see the archives getting a lot of slack because of this too. How
Well,
is it that we're
well,
just now finding out about documents that Biden had when he was even a senator? How long ago? Why are we just hearing about it now? Why do they not have a better record system? And I see a major overhaul of the archive system because of this.
and I see that there's going to be guidelines about how documents are to be handled and how they're
Hmm.
cataloged and all of that stuff. So you're
Yeah.
right about that. Okay, we're almost done here. Okay. I'm going to have to rephrase this one a little bit because the purposes of YouTube, I got to be careful of what I say.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin and Mel. Do you see certain herbs becoming legal nationally? And the
Yes.
answer to that is yes, but it's
Yes.
going to take 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Um, so we answered 36 questions.
Oh, nice.
So all
Not
right.
bad
Good
for an hour
job.
time, right?
All right.
Can I make a request real quick before we wrap up, Mel?
Of course you can.
If everybody could do me a favor and just send my mom Loretta a lot of love. She's got some she just tested positive for COVID. She's got some lung issues that make it a little concerning, although they haven't seemed to be affecting her lungs too much. So if we could all just send a lot of love and prayers for her, I would really appreciate it.
Did you say Aretta or Loretta?
Loretta, like Loretta Lynn.
Okay. All right, everybody, let's do that. White light and healing sent to Loretta.
Thank you, Mel.
You're welcome. All right, if you want to get a hold of Kevin, text him 440-376-4088.
Mm.
Go to his YouTube channel, subscribe, and join.
Mm.
Kevin's Loving Vibrations. You can email him, kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. It'll be in the comments below.
Thank you, Mel. And I do offer private readings and Reiki energy healing and relaxation, chakra balancing kind of work as well. So,
All right. Thank you, Kevin.
thank you, Mel.
Thursday I'm on your show.
Yes, sounds good.
You got it. All
See you
right.
then.
All righty.